How far does Hollywood's power truly extend? New footage has emerged, shaking the industry and raising serious questions about influence, control, and the legal battles surrounding Blake Lively. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are not just Hollywood A-listers. They are a power couple with immense influence in the entertainment industry. With a combined net worth in the hundreds of millions, top-tier connections, and the ability to sway media narratives, they have often been able to control their public perception. Their friendships with high-profile figures, including executives, journalists, and politicians, give them access to resources that few others can match.
Fourth revelation that came is that Sony informed them that there would be a cast-wide boycott if James Heath or Justin Baldoni attended the premiere. How's that for that statement? Actually, we learn that on July 23rd, 2024, Sony informs Wayfarer, the studio financing the premiere and most of the film, that Lively had demanded that Baldoni, Heath, and Wayfarer refrain from attending the New York premiere and threatened a cast-wide boycott if they do. This is really Justin's fault. I need to be man up and accept, the public, you're noticing some things, but you're wrong, public. Basically, the command was gaslight the public while behind the scenes, we act awful. That was the command. That was the instruction, okay? And this kind of brings in the Brandon Sklenar piece, because I have just been amazed at how involved he got and how the cast just knew that Justin was a good person but went along with this anyways. And I had reduced this to essentially A-list syndrome. All of these people who, if you even aspire to be a Hollywood actor and actress, in most circumstances, you're dealing with someone who probably has some narcissistic tendencies. I'm not saying everyone, okay? But the majority. This is why we have these stereotypes about Hollywood.
A 2016 interview with journalist KY Flah has recently gained attention again, portraying Lively in a less than flattering light. The interview, conducted during the Café Society press tour, was marked by tension, with Lively sarcastically responding to Flah's congratulatory remark about her pregnancy.
Now when I look at it, it's even more evident that they were just completely ignoring me. If you watch this clip I'm going to show you, I think it's about 1.5 minutes long, Blake Lively does not look at me one single time until the end. Okay, here we go.
That's always nice, to see that your idea of someone isn't always who they actually are, but be pleasantly surprised.
Well, we're just, inundated with a lot of material. You can be if you have the internet of, reading about these people and thinking that you know them and all that. And it's the spectacle of that, of what we do as actors, that has risen a lot more in the past decade than ever before. So, misconceptions, I think if you're rich and famous, that you're happy is probably the biggest. And we see that, fame and success is a burden as much as it is a blessing. I think that would probably be, you know what I mean? I think people think, oh, if only I was recognized for what I do.
In August 2024, Flah uploaded new footage from the interview to her YouTube channel, describing it as the most uncomfortable interview situation I have ever experienced. The video gained over 5 million views, sparking discussions about Lively's behavior. People questioned whether Lively's team had previously suppressed media coverage of such incidents to protect her image, and if she is currently doing it to try and fight the bad image her most recent controversy has created.
I really do want to talk about this because, Blake Lively's attorney is now warning content creators that are parroting Justin Baldoni's lines. It all comes in this document that we did talk about. I think this came out yesterday during the live, which if you missed yesterday's live with Zach, we had a wonderful time with Zach Peter. Hope to get him back. But I want to go through some of this because there's so much nonsense in this doc. And as Deadline here does sort of break down very well, it's just so much back and forth where ultimately they're just trying to agree on protective orders, which there should be some sort of protective order. No one's denying that, but no one wants to give. And honestly, Blake's asking for too much, in my opinion. She wants all celebrity correspondence to be private. It's called AEO, which is attorney's eyes only. All sort of private mentions from celebrities, etc., should be only for the attorneys. It's girl, no. You published his text messages. Can we just hold on, Blake? You published his text messages in a complaint that wasn't even a lawsuit and then gave it to the New York Times before you filed it officially. You're despicable and a massive hypocrite.
Reports have suggested that Baldoni and his team sought to discredit Lively through media leaks and legal action. At the same time, Lively's allies, including her husband Ryan Reynolds and her publicist Leslie Sloan, allegedly worked to undermine Baldoni's reputation. Lively's Hollywood status and network of elite friends make it plausible that media narratives could be shaped in her favor.
Why is she there? Because Ryan wanted he wanted to isolate him. I want you to understand that. This is what really bugs me about this is narcissistic abuse. He wanted him to feel alone and like he had no one on his side. And the means for him to attain that was through his wealth and like the A-list clientele that he surrounds himself with. You know, me and Hugh are going to be on the set promoting your film, making fun of you. Like, I really want you guys to think about how insane that is. And this kind of throws me back to the real hero in all this, Martha Stewart. A while ago, went on to some show. She was promoting something, one thing or another. And she basically said that she knows Ryan and he's not a funny guy. Like she was basically alerting the public to the fact that Ryan Reynolds is kind of a psycho. Like she didn't say it, but she was like, he's pretty serious. Like she's basically letting people know that he puts on this persona as this funny, nice guy, and this isn't who he is. And so listen to what Martha Stewart had to say on this random game show.
We asked Built members what celebrities would be the most fun to hang out with.
He's probably on the list just because he covers himself up in his movies and you don't see his face. Ryan Reynolds, is he one of those? And you want to know something? He's not so fun.
A new development in the case emerged when leaked audio from the Freakonomics podcast featured Ari Emanuel, CEO of Endeavor, openly discussing the legal battle. In the recording, Emanuel confirmed that he personally terminated Baldoni's contract with WME, citing his close friendship with Lively and Reynolds as a reason. This admission significantly strengthens Baldoni's defamation lawsuit, as it establishes a direct link between the public allegations and the financial losses he suffered.
Exactly what happened here. This was where Ari Emanuel of WME, who is Blake, Ryan, and was Justin's agent, spoke very negatively, calling Justin baloney, all this stuff. He leveled in and talked about why he believes Blake and Ryan, while seemingly continue to defame Justin. This is an agent, mind you, who has not yet publicly dropped Diddy, but he dropped Justin Baldoni because Blake and Ryan made him. As the articles have come out, it turns out more and more that, yeah, WME was pretty much forced by Ryan and Blake to drop Justin. So his insight is very interesting. And I was waiting to report on this until we could get the audio from the podcast itself, Freakonomics. But then something happened. It wasn't recorded. Listen to this.
When our excellent editor, Ellen Frankman, comes up to me with a look on her face that I couldn't quite figure out. In retrospect, she looked really ill. She was shaky. Her face was pale. So I asked her, what's wrong? And she tells me that in addition to the audio failures we had earlier, there was another, even bigger failure. The show had not been recorded.
Curiously, the Freakonomics podcast episode featuring Emanuel was never officially released due to a technical failure that allegedly erased both audio and video recordings. However, a journalist present at the live taping captured the conversation, ensuring Emanuel's statements became public. This raises ethical concerns about media manipulation, especially considering Emanuel's vast influence within Hollywood.
I know where you're going with this one. Do you have notes on it? Oh, yeah. Those are the two things I said to myself. This could come up.
He brought notes on it. So this was all arranged.
Okay, it's notes. So I have to admit, I don't keep up that much on Hollywood. But even I caught wind of the Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds. Let the record show for those listening at home, Ari just slit his throat. I mean, it's a fucked up, bad situation that Baldoni, whatever his name is doing.
It's an effed up situation. Whatever, Baldoni, whatever his name is doing. Whatever, he's your client. What a scumbag you are.
Now, he was your client too, until I fired him. Right.
Did you hear that? I fired him. Yeah, he was. I fired him. Because you didn't even know his name? Like, so disrespectful.
You know, this is give a little bit of the backstory. It's not really fair. I've known Ryan and Blake for over a decade. They're really incredible people. In Hollywood, have been incredibly successful. People work with them. They've never had any bad mojo out there and treated people badly.
Baldoni is also suing the New York Times, alleging that the publication coordinated its article against him well in advance, potentially in collaboration with Lively's team. While defamation cases against major outlets are notoriously difficult to win, TikTok sleuths have unearthed inconsistencies in the timeline. Even if Baldoni does not win, the lawsuit could serve as a PR strategy to challenge media bias and protect his reputation.
I will go to my friends at the New York Times. I will do these. She has a relationship with this writer, Megan Twohey, and the team behind this whole article. The metadata shows that they were working on it months before it actually came out. They took this civil complaint and they basically just printed all of Blake's stuff, the New York Times. The fact it hit Baldoni, like what? The fact that he hired Brian Friedman, that he had recorded everything. Jamie Heath, he and his producing partner were so smart. When they saw this thing going south in the summertime, they began to record all the texts, the emails, saving them, putting them in a file, which made it very easy for Brian Friedman to put out 170 pages of every interaction. Sadly, she puts out this big thing in the New York Times that slams Baldoni, and Baldoni has backup receipts to show exactly each interaction, what actually happened, and it just kaboomed in her face.
Ryan Reynolds, who often stands by Lively during public controversies, was notably absent from the SXSW premiere of Another Simple Favor, leading to speculation. Some theorized that internal tensions or legal concerns played a role. Reynolds' vast business empire, including his lucrative stake in Aviation Gin and ownership of Wrexham AFC, places him among Hollywood's most powerful figures, someone capable of pulling strings behind the scenes.
Apparently, during the SNL appearance, SNL was a test to see how fans would react to them. It was their first outing together since Blake filed, and it did not bode well for them. Ryan and Blake both now realize if their careers are to survive, they cannot be involved in the same projects because everything will be heavily scrutinized. Now, I would argue even their solo projects are going to be scrutinized. You guys clearly aren't backing down. You're frustrated with them, and I hear why. I am too. If they really played the power moves that they did and lied, shame on them, of course. But I don't fault him for not showing up because I agree with this reasoning. It would have been even more intense, more scrutinized. And I think they do need to do their separate appearances if they need to do them. Really, it's about protecting their separate incomes, the source explained. Blake is unsure about the future of her career because of the backlash she has received. She does not want to have a family with no income, and she knows that Ryan's career has so far survived the fallout. I would agree with that. It has. He's still going to be Deadpool. He's not going to lose gigs. I do think Blake will have a tougher time getting gigs, not because of a retaliation campaign, but because of her demanding authorship. Go make your own movies, Blake. Go make your own movies.
Leslie Sloan, Lively's longtime publicist, has been at the center of the legal dispute. Baldoni's lawsuit accuses Sloan of orchestrating defamatory media coverage to protect Lively's reputation. Given that Hollywood publicists specialize in managing scandals, it's not unthinkable that behind-the-scenes damage control efforts were in play.
I want to hear it all, okay? This is like, we're never going to give this opportunity to just really see inside of Hollywood in this way. You know what I'm saying? We're never going to be able to see it. So anyways, you should know, obviously, they went to court, the lawyers went to court, and they were representing their clients. So this was not an appearance from Blake Lively or from Ryan. And essentially, I'm just going to tell you, just sum up what happened. No gag order will be granted. Blake Lively moved to she had her lawyer speak out and say that she did not want to have to be deposed by Brian Friedman. Super weird, bratty request. Not going to play well in the press. Again, she has, I think, the worst PR team in the entire world. I think Stephanie Sloan PR has Leslie Sloan PR is terrible. I'm telling you, like the moves they're making here to paint her as a victim, it tells you that they're not up on culture. Like they don't know Me Too culture has moved away, and like trying to pretend you're being victimized by having to go to court over a lawsuit you filed because you don't like the lawyer is just dumb, really dumb stuff. My understanding, by the way, is Leslie Sloan has a leg in at Hollywood Reporter. So she gets articles leaked to the Hollywood Reporter and Page Six. Those are her peeps. I know all of their.
Lively's public image has long been one of grace and charm, but this ongoing legal drama threatens to reshape perceptions. While she remains a beloved figure to many, The resurfaced interview and legal battles cast doubt on whether her team has successfully controlled her narrative. If allegations of industry manipulation hold weight, it could impact her standing in Hollywood.
Blake Lively continues to make headlines.
You think I want to make you pay?
This was my first time as a villain.
I think about her all the time. The faceless blonde I thought I knew.
We're getting a first look at the sequel, Another Simple Favor. Revenge, betrayal, killer Italian fashion. Blake serves it all up alongside co-star Anna Kendrick.
There's some real darkness. You're gonna see what I mean.
Of course, as the It Ends With Us legal war continues, there are challenges of promoting the film.
It was just the best experience.
The studio turned off comments on the movie's trailer after trolls slammed the poster on Insta, saying things like, "Did Ryan rewrite a scene?"
How's it going?
Great. Why? What have you heard?
The sequel opens in 9 days at the South by Southwest Film and TV Festival. The red carpet will not be live streamed, and it's unclear if Blake will do interviews at the festival or ever for the movie. Another PR crisis, new viral videos of celebs coming for Ryan. From the Jersey Shore cast,
Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, not great to us. He didn't want to be by us.
To former co-star Matthew Lawrence.
I did do a movie with him.
Oh, really?
It was a total schlub then. The funny part about it is that the production team was having a really hard time.
With a case heading to trial in March 2026, both sides are preparing for a high-profile showdown. If evidence emerges of deliberate media manipulation or legal strong-arming, it could change the way Hollywood power dynamics are viewed. The trial may expose not only the inner workings of the entertainment industry, but also the extent to which wealth and connections can shape public perception. Regardless of the trial's outcome, the Lively-Baldoni legal battle has already highlighted the immense influence that A-list celebrities wield. Whether it's controlling media coverage, swaying public opinion, or leveraging elite networks, the case serves as a reminder that in Hollywood, power often extends far beyond the big screen.
Unfortunately, we all know the name Colleen Hoover, and that's because she has been kind of in the background of the It Ends With Us controversy, this legal dispute between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. Early on, she made it very clear that she was on Blake's side, which really rubbed people the wrong way. She's now gone into silence, come back with a fresh Instagram, and I decided, why don't we do a deep dive into her past, because it turns out she's pretty problematic. I don't know if you guys saw the movie, comment below if you did, but when it comes to her books, it seems like they're aimed towards young adults, mostly women who read these books, and they're influenced by these romanticized stories of abuse. Now, Colleen has several books, and they often include extensive character trauma, emotional, mental, physical abuse, questionable consent, and in a few cases, almost but not quite incest. Ew. Many times her male characters exhibit misogynistic behavior that gets excused because of their attractive appearance or their sexual power.
As new footage, allegations, and legal filings continue to surface, the world is watching to see how this high-stakes battle unfolds. Whether Lively and Reynolds successfully navigate this controversy or face lasting reputational damage remains to be seen. One thing is certain: their wealth, influence, and industry connections will play a crucial role in shaping the final narrative.
Now we know wrote another line into that script to sort of mock the circumstances of everything that was going on. But when you zoomed in on her face in that moment and you saw Kevin Costner kind of looking down in that SNL moment, she doesn't look comfortable. She doesn't. She looks anxious. She looks like she doesn't really want to be out in public when she knows that the public does not like her. And we saw this similarly at the event for South by Southwest. Some people are noticing that she's rambling when she's speaking on stage to the point of almost incoherency, rambling to deal with her angst, right? And I'll just give you a sample of that. Take a listen.
What happens in the third one? Capri and Rome, honestly. So Paul, we really wanted to make this second movie, and I was like, Paul, he wanted to shoot in Capri, and I was like, that sounds amazing, but it's very expensive, and let's just, shoot in Connecticut. That's where the first one took place. I didn't understand why it needed to be Capri, and now I want to live there. I love it so much. They serve you ice cream and lemons, and it's just magical. They sell hats. That crazy, beautiful hat was just a hat in a store. Humans buy that.
And I'll also add to that, she's definitely rambling and you can sense she's uncomfortable and a lot of hand movements. But I'll also add that even when you see her walking the red carpet, she's suddenly very nice to fans. It's a totally different Blake Lively. And she just seems so grateful for every fan that's coming up to her and asking for a picture and like a hug.
Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on this crazy saga. We'll keep you posted as more information comes to light. Until next time.